It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just take it.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Krebs COH replay. And before we actually start saying anything, or I start saying anything, I'm actually going to get this replay started for you guys because I think that it gets kind of tedious and a bit boring when I'm just speaking quite a lot at the beginning. So we might as well get this game started and I'll just keep on going. So anyway, I'm back to my traditional replays. And by that I mean that I am not collaborating. I mean I will be collaborating eventually. But I just wanted to hit back with my solo replays just to get just to give you guys what I originally started doing, right? So this game here, we have a pro game, I believe. I haven't actually watched this game whatsoever, so I don't exactly know what to expect, if it will be good or not. But we have a very well-known player. We have Siepaka, or Siepaka. Now, I don't actually know. I know I'm totally butchering the names on these, but Siepaka is apparently sztefenfu, and so that is a very popular player. I'm sure a lot of people know that person, and I know I'm probably butchering this name. I have a very strong feeling that this name is Polish. So if you guys want to correct me, please feel free to do so, and maybe in the next replay I will say it right. So we have this game on Angoville here, Siepaka versus loveleiarde. So I'm gonna be calling these people Siep and the American Love, just to simplify things and so I don't sound as stupid when I'm saying my pronunciations of things. So Angoville. So quite an interesting map. I'm sure a lot of you guys are quite aware of everything about it. And now right off the bat, I like what Siep is actually doing, sztefenfu. He's blocking this area, this little cross pathway here with some barbed wire, making a bit of hassle in the beginning. So basically the Americans got to cut that off if they want to try and get through there. So pretty damn cool. So that means right off the start that sztefenfu wants this side, or to at least split the sides up. And so we had a little engagement there. I'm not too sure why the Volksgrenadiers were trying to engage riflemen close up, but fair enough. As you guys can see, the riflemen won that engagement, and sztefenfu had to retreat all his men right away off the battlefield. So right from the beginning, first battle, the first encounter, going straight to loveleiarde. And right now he is just trying to take this main cutoff point right here, but seeing this MG coming, he has to quickly get away. His men are badly damaged right now, so very much so at risk of losing some of these men since they're very damaged. He's going for, it seems like a very basic rifleman start, so getting his rifleman out. He's got 1, 2, actually let's go switch on over to him to make this easier. He has loveleiarde, here we go. He has 2 riflemen and 2 engineers on the field right now, building more riflemen. So very normal start for the Americans. Totally recommend it, because when you have riflemen like this, you have the capping power, you have the force to do so in the beginning, so why not? And it seems like sztefenfu, or Siep, is actually going for quite a standard start as well. He's going for MGs with Volksgrenadiers, and these are a very good combination of guys. Why? Because Volksgrenadiers are so good at closing in on men when they are suppressed. So this MG always keep in the back and suppress those guys, make their job a lot easier. And so always traveling about in a group, I absolutely love that. Very cool. Now taking cover behind the hay bales, this MG not really taking shots, but here we go, taking some shots. But I like its positioning. See, it can quickly switch around and take on any flanking squads. Very nice placement. These Volksgrenadiers, very good position because they have the strength in long range and mid range encounters, but quickly trying to refocus on this flanking rifleman squad. This MG trying to take out the opposing flank, and very good micro right there. So the MG is taking out a whole bunch of guys, having to retreat these riflemen to fight another day. I absolutely love that engagement right there. So quick change of tide of war there. So the initial engagement, the first engagement was lost for sztefenfu, but he actually managed in the second encounter to push Love right back to his base. So very exciting stuff right now. We have what is this, a Pioneer squad coming in on the right hand side just to provide a little bit of capping power. But on the most part, we just have the main encounters right on the left-hand side. So lots of barbed wire going down. These Volksgrenadiers taking advantage of their build menu to put down more barbed wire. Love what they're doing right there. So barbed wire, absolutely free. Totally recommend it. He's actually cutting off this entire map. It looks like he's building the Great Wall of China out of barbed wire, just stretching it right across. So he's cut off this center intersection. He's also cut off this area, making it hard for the American to try and come in and cut off this manpower point. So very good use of tactics right there. This MG actually putting a lot of suppressing power on these riflemen who are trying to get in there, trying to cut off or recap the right hand side. So it looks like sztefenfu is doing a very good job at just putting the pressure on the Americans right now. So the engineers on the Americans just getting their 50 ammunition, straight up getting flamethrowers. Very good idea, because flamethrowers in the beginning are especially useful. Why? Because there are a lot of infantry being very susceptible to flame damage. So that early flamethrower makes it very hassling for the opposing team. This Pioneer really needs to get out of here right now. Not in a good place whatsoever, but it looks like he will manage to get out of there. I believe it's actually quite hard to kill retreating men with flames, so not a problem whatsoever to retreat from that flame engineer squad. So right now, it looks like Love is having a very strong control of the right hand side, and awkwardly enough, it seems like quite ironically, this intersection of barbed wire is actually stopping sztefenfu from getting onto the right hand side, because as you can see, he has such a good opportunity to actually cut off Love, but he's not doing so because that barbed wire is in the way. He's having very solid control of the left hand side, putting more barbed wire down, just totally trying to negate any chance of Love getting his men across onto the left hand side. Absolutely love this. He has good control of the left hand side, so he's keeping that whilst making a small force of guys, more MGs and Volksgrenadiers on the right hand side to try and push. So strong control on the left hand and making a little push on the right hand side. MG provide a lot of hassling power, but this flamethrower squad looks like he's trying to go in for a flank. Could he manage that? MG quickly turning around, taking some suppressive fire on the engineers. Very nice. But we have another flanking squad coming around. This is looking very bad for the Axis right now, and they have to retreat because too many flanks. One MG very good at suppressing, but when you're getting hit from 3 directions, it is just too much. Now, what I want to say about this game is, I believe sztefenfu is going to be going for defensive, and I love defensive. Defensive is my home. If you guys remember me from COH, I was defensive all the way, so I have a little heart for this game right here, because this player, sztefenfu, is playing defensive, so props to him. And now I absolutely love what is happening here. Since Love cannot go around, he's actually cutting off this barbed wire here. He went all the way around to cut off sztefenfu. This manpower point, now that it's cut off, all these resources, fuel and everything cannot be used. Now we have a huge flanking force coming in. Oh my gosh, we have just MGs providing so much suppression, but the bars taking out so many other guys. Oh, they just gotta get out of here. It looks like these MGs providing so much hassling power. The Pioneers of Flamethrowers getting in the medic bunker. Oh my gosh, what looked like was going to be such a turn of events on the Axis. It looked like so deeply that the Americans were actually going to push back the Axis and kill loads of guys, but it looks like those MGs got down fast enough. Flamethrower Pioneer in the medic bunker, and just looked too much for the Americans. So badly damaged, taking so many casualties there. What they could really use right now is probably a medic bunker. As you guys can see, the Axis actually got a medic bunker of their own, so totally capitalizing on their infantry. Whenever you see that medic bunker going down on the Axis and they have loads of infantry, you can definitely predict that they'll be going for a defensive doctrine. So right away we have Loveleiarde. He's actually gone for Airborne, so interesting choice. That strafing run could be very good in taking out all those future infantry squads, and he's actually getting triage center. So whenever you're going for very heavy infantry like this, get your triage center down. It's not expensive whatsoever. It's only a bit of fuel, a bit of manpower, and it provides a lot of healing effect. So as you guys might or may not know, the Axis actually have to pay ammunition in order to use a field kit. Now that ammunition is quite a it's quite an important choice. I'm not exactly sure if you guys should use it or not, because you know that ammunition is very important and only heals one squad. So if you're actually going to use a medical kit, then use it probably on a sniper that's badly damaged. Otherwise, don't do it. So the Americans obviously have an advantage because they have a triage center providing all this healing effect. So it looks like right now Love is trying to get back onto the left-hand side, but this MG, very strong control of the left-hand side, as I said. sztefenfu just says, I want the left-hand side and I will have it. He doesn't even seem like he's going to try to cap the right-hand side. I'm even surprised about that because I was thinking he'd at least cap these points near him, especially this manpower point, or as ammunition point, should I say, because, I mean, it's 10. That's a lot of resources over the long run. And so right now, Love actually putting down some mines. Now with double engineers. Now if you guys didn't actually know this, here's a useful tip for you guys. But mines are actually built at a fixed rate. So even if you have more guys, even if you had 10 engineer squads, they would not be building these mines faster than a single engineer squad. So just use one engineer to put them down at a time. And always shift click away from the mines, because if you ever see your opponent just standing in the middle of a road, you can damn well sure that they actually put down some mines. It's such an obvious thing to do. And so right now, loads of engineers with flamethrowers right now, just putting some pressure on. And oh my god, I think this is the most barbed wire I've ever seen on Angoville, or any map for that matter. Just sztefenfu actually knows that, you know, if he wants to provide a lot of hassle on Love, he should build loads of barbed wire, just making this battle very, very hard for Love. It looks like he's actually making a formation here where he can come in through these bushes here and just hide behind these trees. And he's also just preventing the Americans from actually getting any cover behind all this shrubbery as well. So making this very open. As you guys can see, this is such an open attack right now. sztefenfu putting on his ability. Sorry, I forgot the name there. For the Fatherland, I should know that. And putting on For the Fatherland to give him some defensive bonuses from such an immense attack right now. It looks like sztefenfu is just keeping his guys there, even though he's losing it. He has his medics right nearby. They can just easily pick up the dead and put them back, get a free Grenadier squad, and I'm sure that's what he's going to do. He wants to get a free Grenadier squad and replenish this MG, I could imagine, and just reinforce near his bunker. And that's one of the useful things about the axes, especially when you go defensive, is that whenever you have your bunker down, a medic one, or any bunker actually, you can reinforce from it. So very cool. As you guys can see, a free Grenadier squad coming out of that. They can easily replenish from nearby, and very nice tactics. Now, it looks like since this area is actually cut open, sztefenfu has decided, okay, fair enough, I will go onto the right-hand side and start capping. And I believe he's going to try and go for this cap right here on the manpower strategic point, just so he cuts off the entire resources that Love has. Now this is looking a very desperate situation for Love right now, because if he loses these resources, this will be such a big loss for him. Now I like what sztefenfu is doing, using his engineers, his pioneers, to put down barbed wire just to deny the Americans of actually getting through. But unfortunately, not quick enough. Love actually coming in there and taking those, or putting those pioneers to run back home. So it looked like quite a good idea, but unfortunately not going to be able to do that. Looks like sztefenfu actually went for a Storm Armory, producing some Pumas. So Pumas, very good, because they can easily, they have the maneuverability, they have the speed. Now think of Pumas as being sort of like ninjas, I suppose you could say. They're very fast, they're very evasive, they can do a lot of side swiping damage, and very good against infantry. So very good response to all these riflemen right now. These Pumas can easily just come right running or driving past all these riflemen, killing loads of them and not even receiving any damage. So very good idea right there. Now we have a motor pull up from Love, and what could we expect from that? I'm guessing just probably AT guns or maybe a Greyhound, but it seems a bit late for a Greyhound, so we'll just have to really see what comes out of that. Actually, I'll switch on over, maybe we can see. And he's actually getting AT guns, so very good. Now he has access to getting Airborne, and that could be very useful once he gets a recoilless rifle to take out these Pumas. Now I believe sztefenfu actually came in there to scout a bit. Now that's very useful. You usually see that in StarCraft and such. I don't actually play StarCraft that much, or